Hi guys, so good evening. Um, may I know am I audible or not in the chat section? And today is the last session of the Java development workshop. So how is the Josh? Good evening. Good evening, Sakshi. So guys, just let me know how is the Josh. It's the last session of the workshop, and today we'll be dealing with strings as well as the oops concept. Okay. Good evening, Anuj. Good evening, Vikash. So, guys, do you people have any doubts in our previous session? We have seen many concepts until yesterday, right? So, yesterday, in order to just recall the things what we have seen about the control structures and the switch case, and also we have seen about how to declare a method, and we had, like an overview of what is a bucketing algorithm, and we have also seen how to initialize and declare arrays and how to manipulate the array elements. So today what we'll be doing is first let's see about strings, okay, and we'll be solving a coding problem which is based upon string. Then then we'll be moving on to the oops concept, which is the basic pillar of Java, which will be used in order to build any projects, or whenever you are dealing with low level designs, that time oops concept helps you. And in interview point of view, obviously you have to be very very strong in terms of oops concept, because that is the place where people tests you. Okay, so we'll be seeing the concept of classes and objects, and after that, if time permits, we'll be seeing more about collection framework as well. Okay, so I just want to know how is the Josh, like, are you people very excited for the last session? Today we are going to learn more. Okay, so yesterday I have given an introduction about what is a Java string. We have seen it is an object which is actually used to it's a placeholder in order to store all the characters, and it is being enclosed in terms of double quotes. Okay, and we have also seen like we will be able to create a string in many forms. So string, I'll be getting the input from the user. Okay, okay, import java dot and I'll be getting the scanner class. String input is equal to c dot next. You can give next as well as next line. I'll be telling you the difference. sc dot next, then I'll be printing the input which I have received from the user. Okay. I'll be giving a sentence. Welcome to Java workshop. Okay, so see, I'm going to get a string input from the user, because of which I'm using the method next, sc dot next. Okay, so we have seen in order to retrieve the very first element, or in order to get a character input from the user, what we'll be putting, we'll be mentioning it as sc dot next dot caret 0. Okay, but in this case, I'm getting the input from the user, I'm going to give a full sentence. Okay, so which means it contains even the spaces here. When I'm using the next method, only the first letter is being the first letter is being is getting stored in the input. The first word is being stored in the input field. Okay. After it encounters a space, actually that is actually getting breaked. Okay. In order to assign the whole sentence to input, what method we have to use is we have to use next line method. So next line method, what it does is, even though we have some empty spaces, okay, after a word, all those things will be treated as a single string. So now let's see. Let's give the same input. Welcome to Java workshop. The entire string is being stored into the input. So this is the some a basic difference between next and next line. If you want to get a sentence input from the user, better you have to go with only next line. Okay, so that time only if it encounters any space characters also, it will be omitted. If you're using next, only the first word of your sentence will be getting extracted and it will be stored into the input field. So guys, like, are you people clear with the next and next line concept? Good evening, guys. And one more thing. So, like, these are all the separators only, right? So, in a sentence, if you are giving something like welcome to Java or welcome to Java, in both these cases, we do have the same letters, but these are called as separators, right? So separators in the sense, the thing which separates any two words, okay, in sentence or in some patterns, we can have anything like this. So first program, what we'll be doing is we'll be getting a sentence input from the user and just really printing the number of words in a sentence, okay? Our first use cases, we have to input a sentence to count the number of words present in it, okay? Mm. Um, in this case, we do have a default method in Java which is known as split, the split method, okay? Why I am very particular about the split method in the sense, like, obviously, like, you people will be using it when it comes to coding part a lot, because when people are giving an entire sentence with any separators in this input, and if you want to manipulate each and every word, split, it will be useful, okay? So what basically split does is, if the sentence is welcome to Java workshop, then the syntax will be split, and inside you have to give on what separator you're going to split the sentence, okay? So let's suppose here we have a space, right? So based on the space, I would want to split my sentence. If it's something like this, means I'll be giving a space here, okay? And I'll be storing this output in a string array, and that string array will be having something like this: welcome to Java. One second, guys. Sorry. So it will be having welcome to Java workshop, okay? So we'll be storing it in a string array, and now we'll be finding the length of the array, because as these are treated as separate elements of the array, length of the array gives the number of words present in a sentence. So this is the logic behind how to find or how to count the number of words present in a sentence. Guys, are you clear with the concept? Whose name is this? Core Java. It's very interesting. So guys, are you clear with the concept or with the approach what we are going to do in order to count the number of words in a given sentence? Okay, thank you, Rohit. Okay, So we'll be implementing it in the code. So what I'm going to get is, so input is the sentence which I have. Input variable is the string sentence which I have. Now I want to assign it to a single array, because as we have seen, uh, it after using the split method, it will be splitted into an array of like various elements in terms of the separators which we are giving in the split. So string array is equal to input dot split. Okay, now for string I in ARR, we're going to print the elements which is present in the string array I. Okay, sorry, it's not a character, as it's the string. We have to give double quotes here. Welcome to Java. Okay, so now my string array contains the elements welcome to Java. Okay, and I have accessed the elements with the help of for each loop. In for each loop, we have to give the data type of the elements which is present over there. Okay, now system dot the number of words present is array dot length. Welcome to Java workshop, and it's our last session. Okay, so number of words which we have is 9. Well, okay, guys, this is the code in order to to count the number of words which is present in a given line. So, are you clear with the code? Here is the code. Are you people clear with the approach of what we are doing and the coding part? Okay, thank you. And I hope that people are working with me parallelly. And one more thing. So this is one of the way in order to get the string input. Mostly we'll be using only this, but you can also use a string builder class. Okay, and I'll be just showing you what and all the methods which is available in the string builder class. Whenever you are using the string method in order to get a string input, the string keyword, strings are immutable. This sense you cannot change the characters of a string, or you cannot modify a string. But if you're going to use string builder class, okay, that time strings becomes mutable. You can change because there are various methods which are available. Okay, code. Sanjana, is that fine? And guys, come on, like, how many people know what is meant by a palindrome here? Palindrome, string palindrome. We'll be seeing that question. Uh, of course, like string palindrome is quite very simple, but I'll be telling you an approach, a very simple approach. Okay. 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 Let's let's make use of the string builder class. So whenever you're using string builder class, string builder sc is equal to not sc. Once again, I'll check if this string builder string is equal to new string builder of okay. I'm giving a particular word. Okay, so I'm going to use a string builder in order to create a particular string. String builder is a pre-defined class which is available in Java, and there are various methods which is available in terms of string builder. Okay, I'll be showing you the methods which is available in string builder, because if you want to modify your string elements, string builder is a very good thing, because there are many methods which is available. These are all the methods which is available in string builder class. These are all the default methods. Okay, so caret we have seen, because in order to retrieve the character of a particular element, we'll be doing that. Append is actually to add anything. Reverse we have, directly we have reverse. So if I reverse in the sense, just I want to convert everything, to its reverse value, right? So if you want to reverse, just I'll be giving string dot reverse, or system.out.println string dot reverse. The string will be reversed. That's it. Okay, so we are having many predefined functions whenever we are going to use string builder class. Java, it's getting reversed. So we do have all these functions here: append, length. We are going to delete. Okay, so you can explore more about the methods which is available in string builder class. And yeah, so you people, like what is meant by reversing a word, right? So it is Java here, and when I reverse, all the characters are getting just reversed, just the mirror image. Okay. Now, how many of you know what is meant by a palindrome? Split is actually a method. Yeah, it is used to divide a string with the help of the comparators. Okay, for example, if I'm having my previous code, we can give any comparators here. Any separators here. C dot. I'm going to split my string with the help of the separator. Hash. Okay, and I'm just going to print it. Welcome to Java programming. Okay, so split is nothing but we are going to specify some kind of separators here. So based on the separator, we are going to split the words. Okay, and here I have given hash as the separator. So my array elements contains welcome to Java programming. Is that fine, coder boy? And yeah, these are the two things about string and string builder concepts. And I just want to know what people do you know anything about palindrome of a string. Okay, yes, correct. Whenever a string is being given to us, okay, we want to take the reverse of it. So if the reverse string and the original string matches, or if it is same, then we call it as a palindrome. Okay. Perfect example is RACAR. When we reverse, it's again RACAR, so it is a palindrome. And there could be many, approaches. Just the approach which we have done before. Okay, with the help of the reverse method in string builder class, we can directly check whether uh, the original string is same as the reverse string, and then we can give the answer. But here we'll be seeing a different approach which you people can use it in your DSA thing. Okay, And this is a two pointer concept. So people, do you know anything about a two pointers concept? And this is the concept of two pointers. And there are, like many problems which involves the concept of two pointers. So after teaching the two pointers method, I'll be also showing you the lead code problems which is available on the concept two pointers, so that you can have can go there, you can solve all those things. So we are going to solve the string palindrome problem with the help of two pointers concept. Okay, and now we'll be seeing the concept of two pointers. And if anybody know about two pointers already, you can let me know in the chat. Okay. So let's take a very simple string. Let's take the same example. RACAR. And case sensitivity is also seen when it comes to palindrome. Okay, if you are giving RACA capital R, then it's not a palindrome. Okay. Okay. People, do you know anything about two pointers concept? Okay, you know a little bit. Two pointers concept in the sense, please don't go again back to C and C++ concept and what we'll be using the pointers there. In pointers, we'll be storing the address of a particular variable, right? No, nothing. Two pointers in the sense, just you are going to keep track of two variables. Okay, any two variables. And with the help of that variable, you are going to do the entire manipulation thing. Okay, so let the two pointers which we are going to use here be left pointer and the right pointer. Left and the right pointers. Okay, so now I'm telling the approach. It's quite simple. Okay, so I'm going to maintain two pointers, left and right pointer. Left and right pointers are only the variables. I'm just calling it as a pointer here because I'm going to point it to some element which is present in my string. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to mark the element which is present in the first of my string as the left pointer initially, and the element which is present at the last, I'm going to mark it as the right element. I mean, yeah, initially I'll be having these two things. Okay, now in order to, I mean, we know the concept of what is meant by a palindrome, right? I mean, we are going to reverse this string, and we are just going to check whether both the things are same or not. Actually, what we are checking, we are going to check whether this element and this element is same, right? And again, we will be checking whether this and this is same, and we are going to check whether this is, if it's a single character which is present in the middle, that's fine. If it is an even number of characters, then we just want to check whether two things are equal or not. What I mean here is, if the thing is R A C C A R, then in the palindrome, what I'll be doing, I'll be checking these two, and then I'll be checking whether these two is same, and I'll be checking whether this two is same, because here in the middle we have even number of even occurrences of C. But here we have only odd occurrence of C, right? So if it is an odd, that's fine. If it is an even, we have to have a check over here also. Okay. So initially, what I'll be assigning the first element as left and my last element as right. Okay. I'll be checking whether these two elements are equal or not. Yep, they are equal. Okay. I'm going to check whether right is equal to left. It is equal. Then what I'll be doing, I'll be incrementing my left pointer. So my left now will be pointing it to A, and I'll be decrementing the right pointer, and now my right pointer will be pointing to A. Okay, and again I'll be having a check between the elements which is present at the right, at the left position and the right position. Both the things are equal. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to, like um I'm going to increment my left pointer. Now my left pointer points here, and my right pointer points here. I'm going to decrement my right pointer. Left as well as right pointer will be pointing here. I'll be checking whether left and right are equal or not. Yep, it is equal. It is C here. So now again, okay, we must have a halting condition, right? We have checked all the elements which is present in the string. Now what happens? Again, my left will be incremented. My left will go here and my right will go here, right? So I want to have a condition. I mean, already we have checked everything. So when this condition is getting arised, that time I want to stop my loop, right? So until my condition is true, my loop will be getting executed. So until my left is less than or equal to right, okay, until my left is less than or equal to right, my loop will be working. Here my so I'll be giving the index 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here my left is 3, and in this condition my right is 1, right? So 3 is not less than or equal to 1, so my condition halts. My loop breaks. Okay. This is the basic concept of two pointers. I'll be maintaining two pointers. Okay. I'm going to check whether both the things are equal or not. If it is not equal, I'll be returning it. I'll be breaking the loop and then I'll be saying that it is not a palindrome. Okay, and each and every step I'm going to increment my left pointer and I'm going to decrement my right pointer. I'm going to check everything, and until this condition is true, I'm going to have a check, because when this condition is until this condition is true only, I want to have a checks on the element which is present over my string, right? So this is the basic concept of two pointers. People are clear with the two pointers concept? Okay, Saurav. This is a very very important like concept when it comes to DSA, because you could solve many problems with the help of brute force approaches itself, but when you need some optimal algorithms in order to reduce your time and space complexity, you can go to the algorithms like this. Okay, guys, are you clear with the two pointers concept? If you're clear, then I'll be telling you why this method is optimal and what is meant by any like time and space complexity, what we are using it here. Guys, you can respond in the chat. Actually, space complexity is O of 1, because we are not using any extra space for checking the palindrome of the string. They have given us a single string, and we are not even using any additional strings or any additional arrays or something like that. So my space complexity will be O of 1, because I'm not even consuming any space. When it comes to my time complexity, okay, if you're using reverse method also, my time complexity will be O of n. This n here specifies the number of characters which is present over here. So I mean, like if you're using reverse method, means what the thing will be done is, you will be reversing RACAR. This is the original string, and this is the reversed string, right? So when you're having a check, when you're going to check if it's a palindrome, you're going to check whether R is equal to R, whether A is equal to A, whether C is equal to C. We'll be having all the checks, right, for all the elements which is present over here. So here 5 times you are going to have a check. 5 is n, the number of length of the string. So O of n will be the time complexity here. Okay, but here you are just going to have O of n by 2 time complexity only, because you're not going to check the entire, you're checking the entire string, but parallelly you're checking the first and the last element, and you're incrementing left and right. You are going to check parallelly. So just you are going to check O of n by 2. So if your length is 5, then only up to the second element you are having a check. And in this case, okay, like your string is of length 6, you're just going to check until only 3 checks you're going to do. People, are you clear with what I'm saying? Only 3 checks you're going to do, and in every check you are going to compare these 3 things. So here the time complexity will be O of n by 2, which is the optimal one. And in this way you can implement two pointers concept. Not only in order to find the palindrome of a string. For example, an array is being given to you, and if they're asking to reverse it, that time also you can use something known as the two pointers concept. Are you clear with the two pointers concept? Okay. Now let us implement the two pointers concept. Okay. I'm going to receive a string from the user. String input is equal to sc dot next line. Okay. And I'm going to create a method which returns returns true or false. If the palindrome is if it is a palindrome, it returns true, otherwise it returns false. So I'm going to have the return type as boolean is palindrome, and in a parameter I'm going to pass string. Okay, as I've already said, I'm going to initialize the two pointers left and right. So int left is equal to 0, because every time starting my left will be 0, and int right will be my last element. So str dot length minus 1. Here my length is 5, but right is being pointed to 4 only, right? So 5 minus 1. So str dot length minus 1. Okay. Now I have given this condition. Until this condition is true, we are going to have a check. So let's use a while loop for the same. While left is less than or equal to right, I'll be checking. Okay. Okay. Until this condition is true, I want to check whether the characters which is present at both the point is equal or not. So if str.char at left is not equal to str.char at right, then I'm going to return false. I think you're clear with the condition here. If I'm having something as k here, in this sense, I'll be having a check whether left is equal to right. No. If this is not, if this condition is not, true, if this condition is true, if both the elements at left and right are not equal, directly I'm going to return false, because if it is not equal, then it's not going to form a palindrome, right? So directly I'll be returning the false. Now control comes out of the function. So whenever a return statement is being encountered, all the other statements after that, once the return statement is given, the control will come out of the function. Okay, so if my left element and right element is not equal, I am going to return false directly. If it is not, then my loop continues. I'll be incrementing my left plus plus, right minus minus, and if this input is given, okay, the while loop runs until left is less than or equal to right, and it comes out of the while loop successfully. Now I'm going to return true. Okay, now I'm going to check if I'm going to call the function method is palindrome, right? I have got the input from the user. If is palindrome of input, then is a palindrome. Else, input is not a palindrome. Okay, guys. So if I have just called the method name. I have not given is equal to true, because if this and this both are equal, what we have seen, if one second. What we have seen, if the condition is true, then the block of statement will be getting executed, right? So as the function is going to return true or false, we can just call the method here. That's fine. It's not required to give is equal to true. Okay. So now let's check. I'm going to give the input RACAR. It's giving RACAR as a palindrome. Okay. So I'm going to put something as capital R RACAR. It is not a palindrome. So this is the concept of two pointers. So people are clear with the two pointers concept. We have written a method is palindrome, which returns either true or false based on the conditions. We are going to use a while loop for the same. And yeah, here the time complexity is O of n by 2, so it is an optimal approach. You can also use this two pointers concept anywhere. Even you can use it in your arrays in order to reverse your entire array. So guys, are you clear with the concept? Or if you have any doubts, you can let me know, then I'll explain it again. Parallelly try the code with me, and if you have any doubts, you can let me know. str str in the sense, this, are you asking about this? So in the sense, you people are telling you haven't understood about the str. Str actually here, see, we are getting a string input and we are going to pass it in is palindrome. I'm going to pass the string parameter here, so that's why I'm giving the argument as string str. This is the string name. Okay, it is not like I'm getting the input. I'm giving the variable name as input in my main method. I just want to use input here also. No, we can use any other variables. So others are clear with the concept. And here now you're taking the argument string, and you're initializing two pointers left and right. Okay, while left is less than or equal to right, you are just going to have a check on the corresponding characters of left and right. If both the things are not equal, directly you'll be returning false, stating that it is not a palindrome. Otherwise, I mean, like, you are going to check it until entire characters present in the string has been checked and iterated. If it is a palindrome, then all this condition will be getting executed and it comes here, and now it returns true. Okay. Okay, guys. So I'll be just showing you an example. Two pointers, read code programs. Okay, so based on the two pointers concept, you have more problems here. You can go, okay, you can try solving all these problems, okay? And this problem is very, very important one. Container with most water. I don't know whether you people have solved this or not, but it is a very, very important concept. Okay, here it depicts the concept of two pointers. Everywhere we are using two pointers concept only, but please go through this one, because it has been asked by many companies when it comes to interview. Okay, so yeah. This is the two pointers approach. Next, are you people ready to see about the pillar of Java? Introduction to OOPS. Now only we are going to see the OOPS concept. As I've already said, object-oriented programming language means we are just going to have so everything here, it will be explained, or it will be written, it will be coded, developed in terms of classes and objects. Okay, so what is actually meant by a class and what is meant by actually an object? For example, let's take a scenario where okay, I'm going to have a student class. Like for example, like I'm going to if I want to have a record of the details and the personal details and the mark details of 1,000 students. Like I cannot give the comment as input the student number, input the roll number, like give the input the department name or the marks, and then I cannot store it for each and every time. So what I'm going to do is I'll be creating a blueprint of the objects. Like class means it's something like a blueprint of the attributes of the thing what we are going to depict. So in this case, I'll be having a class student, okay? And in the student class, I'll be having instance variables stating like ID, name, and marks. Okay, and in the student class, let's suppose I have many methods and attributes. Okay, so whenever I want to create or whenever I want to add the data or record of a new student, I'll be just creating an object for the particular student class, and then I'll be continuing with the operations there. So the concept of object and class, the meaning of object and class, or the use of classes and objects is we are just going to have a blueprint. Okay, for example, if you want to have something kind of car object, okay, for the car object, some parameters, like some parameters are going to be same. For example, the brand, you are going to have checks on brand, the model, the manufactured year, or the color, the price. These are going to be the common attributes whenever you take a car. So it could be car of any brand or any company. It is going to have similar kind of characteristics, similar kind of attributes. Like car is used for driving, right? So the purpose is same, and every car will be having a steering, and every car will be having number of wheels. Every car will be having everything, right? The color it will be having. So these are the common attributes when you take a car. So if I want to create a record of 1,000 cars in the sense, I'll be having a single blueprint of how a car will be, or what and all the attributes, what and all the methods. Methods means the functions of a car, what a car can do. Okay, all those things. So I'll be having a common blueprint, and whenever it is required, I'll be using it. By creating an object only, we'll be able to access the methods and attributes of a particular class. Okay, and OOPS is actually, it's a programming methodology of how to make use of all these things. Okay, and we do have important four concepts here. One is inheritance. Okay, next is polymorphism, next is abstraction, and another one is encapsulation. Inheritance, as I've already said, we are just going to inherit the properties, attributes, methods of a class into another class. Okay, and the properties from where the class from where the properties is being inherited is known as the parent class, superclass. If I'm having college or college as my class, I'm going to have various departments. Okay, so let's have a CSC class. Like the hierarchy will be we'll be seeing everything, so don't worry if you're not getting things. Yeah, because class is actually it's going to represent the attributes and methods of a particular real world entity. Okay, here pen, chart, table, computer, watch, their real world entities, they are objects, but just we are going to represent, we are going to have a blueprint kind of thing. Okay, I'll be showing you an example, don't worry. Yeah, so whenever we are taking the string and string builder and string buffer classes. Okay, I mean usually both things will be acting similarly only. So uh, inheritance. I'm going to have a classes like college. College is my main. College is my class, and the hierarchy will be after college class. I'll be having various departments: CSE, EC, and yeah, IT, all those things. So I'll be writing some methods and I'll be using some attributes. Attributes in the sense they are variables. So attributes here in my college class, and there are chances like those attributes are same or the methods could be similar in all the these classes. So what I'll be doing is I'm going to inherit the properties and the methods which is present in college class into my CSE class. So if I'm inheriting this, my college class is known as parent class, and all these classes is known as base classes or child class. We'll be seeing an example, don't worry, or super class. Okay, this is the meaning of inheritance. Then polymorphism. Polymorphism means, let's take an example. A single method, okay, a single method uh, can take various functions, can take like various roles according to the scope. For example, let's like take a common man who is actually a professor kind of person. Okay, uh, when it comes to the school or college scope, he acts as a professor, right? He takes the role of a professor. But when he comes to a scope called home, that time he takes the role of a father or a family man, right? So the person is same. The person is same. Okay, he has the same attributes, but according to the scope, according to the place, his role is getting changed, right? So at school he acts as a professor. The same person when it comes to home, he acts as a family man. So for example, if he is conducting a tuition, if he is going to any tuition centers for taking tuition means, so there he goes, in that place he takes the role of a tuition teacher. Okay, so the same person takes various roles according to various places, right? Similarly, a single method or a single attribute, it takes various roles. The method name is going to be same, okay, but it takes various roles in various scope and in various areas. That is the meaning of polymorphism. Polymorphism means, as the name suggests, you are going to have the behavior of a particular model changes according to the area or according to the class or according to the scope. And you have two important things in polymorphism: runtime polymorphism and compile time polymorphism. Okay, uh, and we'll be calling it as method overloading and method overriding. So method overriding is actually called as runtime polymorphism, and method overloading is called as compile time polymorphism. Don't worry, we'll be seeing about method overloading and method overriding, and we do have the concept of constructors as well, and we also have constructor overloading as well. But today I'll be telling you what is a constructor. Whenever you're going to create a class, whenever you'll be creating an object, you'll be making use of constructor. So I'll be telling everything. And next is the abstraction part. Okay, what do you mean by an abstraction? Like, first I'll be giving you an overview of all these concepts, then we'll be trying it out with the help of the code. Okay, and next, if time permits, we'll be seeing the collection frameworks as well. Guys, if you are polymorphism, people, did you understand what and all things which I have said until now? So then I'll be giving an explanation for what is encapsulation and abstraction, and then we'll be moving on to how to create a class and how to create an object for the same. Okay, I think Sahil is very, like active. The number of yes says it. Oops. Okay, okay. So when it comes to like data abstraction, I'll be telling you a real world example of where data abstraction is being used. For example, I want to contact my friend, okay, and tomorrow I'm having an exam and I want to contact my friend. I want to ask what and all the important questions. Okay, so if I need any help from my friend, what I'll be doing, picking my phone and I'll be dialing his number and I'll be making a call. It will be getting reached, okay, and yeah, we'll be having the convo, and then if it ends, I'll be wrapping up, right? So here, when I dial the number and when I call him, I don't know what the functionality which is working in the backend. I don't know. I'm unaware of the things like what and all the things which is happening behind while connecting me with my friend. No, I just make use of the feature. The feature which is available to me is I can call my friend. I can talk with him. That's it. I know only that, but I don't know. I'm not aware of all the things which is working in the backend. So that is what is going to be abstraction. So we'll be making use of abstract class and static methods, okay, in order to give only the feature to the user to use it, but he or she doesn't know how it works or what's the functionality or what is the backend logic behind it. So if we are going to use WhatsApp, in the sense we just take and we just chat with our friends. That's it. We chat and we'll make use of the functionality. We'll make use of the feature. That's it. But we don't know what's happening in the back and how the data is getting stored and what manipulation is being done. We don't know anything. That's what abstraction. We are going to hide, the things which are not necessary for the user to know. We are going to keep certain things, certain stuffs as a very private thing, so that people uh, people could only use the feature, but they don't know actually what happens in the behind. So that's what abstraction means, okay? And in order to achieve abstraction, we use abstract classes. We are having all those things. We do make use of interface and static methods as well, okay? uh, what do you mean by an interface? In interface, whenever you're creating very big applications like in Java, okay, you can also create some console based applications as well. And uh, people who are working for interviews, there will be an system, application round, okay, or a system design round, or an application round, or a low level design round, LLD round. In the LLD round, they'll be giving you a question and they'll be asking you to solve it with the help of classes and objects. Okay, the things you are supposed to create a system. So that time only you will be using all these concepts here. Okay, so these are all the various system design concepts. I'll be showing you a website where you can also learn more about the LLD parts and the system design concepts. Okay, what I was saying. Yeah, so data abstraction is this. When you're coming to encapsule, as the name suggests, encapsulation in the sense you're going to bind the data with the code. Okay, so the data which is being present in a particular code and the actual logic is going to be binded together as a single unit, and then you're going to make use of it, and this is known as encapsulation. Okay, so are you clear with? Do you have any doubts on these four major pillars? Good evening, ma'am. Sorry for late. Okay, no issues then. Ma'am, can you explain future reflection API? What is that, brother? Which two OOPS terms are used for code security and code reusability? For code reusability, we use the concept inheritance. Okay, reusability in the sense we are just going to use the methods and attributes which we are not even defining in our base classes. So code reusability, uh, inheritance makes use of code reusability. Okay, and when it comes to code security, abstraction comes under code security, because we do use make use of abstract classes, static methods, and interface there. So we make use of code. The code is very secured there. Okay, Sahil. Okay, now people who are having Eclipse can try it out. OctaNet, no? Okay. So I'll be having a class here. Okay. My class name is student. I'll be having my class student, and here I'll be creating instance variables. Okay. I'm going to have the variables a string name. Every student will be, so let's take ourselves everything here as a class, and we all comes under the student category. Okay, what and all the common attributes all of us will have? We do have something called as id. We everybody will be having roll number kind of thing. Everybody will be having a name, like everybody will be belonging to some particular class. Everybody will be having age. These are all the common attributes. Okay, so I'll be giving all this in instant variables. I'll be using three things here: id, name, and marks. Okay, I'll be using the three things here. Okay, and now I'll be having a method. In order to assign the things, I'll be having a method. Okay. Uh, Assigning the values of the instance variables. Okay, this is not a method. Actually, when I want to give the values of a particular variable, I'll be making use of constructor. This is known as constructor. Okay, so constructor in the sense, uh, constructor and method both are not equal. They both are different. Okay, like listen very clearly here. Constructor and method, they both are different, but both functionalities will be same. Okay, both the functionalities will be same, but uh, they both are not equal because constructor does not have a return type at all. Okay, but method we will be returning something. We will be having a return statement, right? But in constructor we won't be returning anything. Okay, so constructor means whenever you are creating a particular class, a default constructor will be created. Constructor in the sense, it will be where it carries the same name of the class. Okay, and it will be having I mean, if it is not having any parameters inside, means it is known as a default constructor. Okay, we do have two types of constructor in Java. Default constructor and parameterized constructor. Default constructor in the sense it will be not having any parameters which is passed inside. But if I'm going to have any parameters in the sense, I'll be calling it as a parameterized constructor. With the help of this constructor only, I'll be able to assign values to this particular instance variables. Don't worry, you'll be able to understand. Okay, so I'm going to have a default, and whenever you're creating a class, automatically default constructor will be created. Okay, automatically this constructor will be created, but it will not be seen to you. It constructs this internally, but you'll be able to override the you'll be able to override the functionality of the default constructor. Override in the sense, you can change what the default constructor functionality must be done. Okay, you can change that, but here I'll be making use of parameterized constructor. So I'm going to pass int id, string name, and float marks. I don't know, like yesterday some have asked about this, right? Okay, now I'm going to make use of this keyword. Okay, before making use of this keyword, I mean, forget about this keyword, I'll be telling you. Okay, so in the parameters consider what parameters I'm going to pass is an integer variable, a string variable, and float variable. Okay. Now whatever parameters is being, whatever parameters is given input by the user, I'm going to assign it. ID is equal to I. So this ID will be assigned to this particular I. Name will be assigned to N. I mean, marks will have the value M. Okay. Now I'll be having a void method to display, and I'll be telling the student details are ID will be the ID, this ID value, name, and marks. Okay. So these are okay. So this is the thing. So these are this is my instance variables or attributes of my class student. This is the constructor, parameterized constructor, where I'm going to assign the values. Okay. And this is my display method in order to display the value which is present over here. Okay. So I'm going to have a class main. Okay. Class main. And in this class main, I'm going to have a public method, public static. Okay. Now, in order to, in order to use the methods for the student class, I want to create an object for that. This is the blueprint of my class. So I have said that these are my common attributes which a student can have. Okay. Now, okay. So now I'm going to create an object for the student class. So the syntax include whenever you're going to create an object, the class name, the object name, new, the constructor. Okay, now student is my class name, object 1 is my object name, or let's be more specific, student 1 S1, new student of, I'll be passing the values here. Guys, this is a constructor, this is not a method, this is a constructor. Okay, in as it is my parameterized constructor. Okay, I'm going to pass ID as 1, name as Kirti, and my marks as constructor is undefined. Okay, I'll be telling why that error has been erased, and we'll be resolving that. But for time's sake, let's have let's assign integer to the marks field. Okay. Now here I have created my first object. Okay, and I'm going to, with the help of this object, I'm assigning the ID value as 1, the name as Kirti, and the mark as 23. Okay. Now, with the help of object, I'll be able to access this method, right? So I'll be giving s1 dot display. Let's see what happens. The student details are ID 1, name is Kirti, and marks is 23. Okay. So So this is my class is the blueprint of a particular student. Okay. If I want to create 100 students record means just I'll be creating 100 objects. That's it. S2 is equal to new student of something like this 45, and I'll be calling the display method. That's it. If I want to create another object means S3 new student of S3 dot display. I'm not writing separate function or separate methods for appending each student. Okay, just I'm having a blueprint and I'm going to manipulate it with the help of the objects present over here. Okay, so whenever I'm calling display method, the details are getting printed. Guys, this is the concept of classes and objects. So here it is student is my class, and S1, S2, and S3 are the objects which I have created in my another class. This is another class. Class mean is another class. Okay. So are you people clear until this? Ma'am, why constructor gets automatically invoked when we create an object of it, and which thing is responsible for that? It the Java internally it actually consider default constructor. Okay, because like if I want to create something like this, if I'm not performing, if I'm not having any methods inside, or if I'm not having an it's not method, if I'm not having any constructors inside, if I want to create an object for a particular class, that time I need a default constructor for that, right? So see, I'm not going to have any constructors here. Okay, let's suppose we don't have anything here, and we are not also going to override the default constructor also here. So that time, whenever we are, if we want to create an object for a particular class, we have to have a default constructor for that particular class. That's why when we create a class, Java automatically creates a default constructor on its own. Okay. In production, while writing a code, when we create a package, is it a tradition of writing the domain in reverse format? Because I've seen so many people doing this. Any specific reason for this? I mean, it comes in one of the naming convention method. Like you are asking this only, right? Com dot kitna dot reservation dot tickets. It is one of the naming convention. If you want to follow, you can follow. It's not. It depends on your convenience. Okay, guys, are you clear with this concept? Are you clear with this code? Default constructor in the sense we won't be passing any parameter inside. Okay, so I can have the default constructor like sorry something like this. Okay, I'm not going to pass any parameters inside, just a very simple default constructor. Okay, um yep, parameterized means I'm going to pass some parameters inside this, and I'm going to assign the values for my instance variables. Okay, what about others? Only Sakshi understood. If you people understand this concept, then we'll be moving on to inheritance, then method overloading and method overriding. These both thing it comes under polymorphism. Okay, and after finishing all these things, we'll be having we'll be seeing more about collection framework. Guys, are you clear with this? Guys, you can respond in the chat. So because we do have less time only. Okay. Mm, mm, okay. Now, for example, like let's take. I want to make use of. Okay. Ah, here where this keyword is used. My instance variables, okay, and the variables which is coming from the main method, from the object creation, both are different, right? For example, here id, we are going to assign the value of I to id, but these both variables are different, right? Okay, these are the parameters which is coming from my objects, but these are the variables which is which belongs to a particular class. Okay, here I and id both are different. Okay, n is not equal to name. I mean, the variable names are different. Okay, because these are the variables which is coming from another class while creating the method, and these are the uh, variables which is present in my own class. So what happens if I'm doing like this? If I'm having both the variable which is present in the class and the both the variable name which is coming from the object, if both are same, let's see what happens. Error will be prompted. ID is equal to ID. Name is equal to name. Marks is equal to marks. Okay. If both these variables are equal, that time, like compare don't know which variable belongs to which. Whether this belongs to the class, whether this is an instance variable, or like this is the variable which is coming from the object. Okay. Now let's see what happens for the output. Same. We are going to create the class and we are going to assign the values. Value will not be assigned. Let's see here. Value is not getting assigned. The ID is 0, null, marks will be assigned 0 because nothing is getting assigned because we the system don't know the program. I mean the point. I mean like what to say. Yeah, the system don't know which to assign to which thing and the difference between the instance variables and the variable which is present in the objects. In order to make this difference only, what we'll be doing is we'll be making use of this keyword, this dot id. So this id variable belongs to the variable which is present in that particular class. So this actually makes the difference of stating that in the left hand side these are the variables which comes under the instance variables method, and these things are the variables which is coming from the object. Now the code runs. It's getting assigned properly. So this is the place where we'll be using the place of this keyword. Okay, here I'm using this keyword for the variables. We can also use it for the methods as well. So guys, now they understood about the usage of this keyword, and you have seen the difference here, right? I hope you understand. Now, turn it. Okay. So I'm going to have a parent class vehicle. Okay. In my vehicle, I'll be having instance variables like vehicle. In the sense, it will be having a brand name, right? Or model and the manufactured year and the price. These are all the common attributes which I have, right? Now I'm going to make use of these attributes. Okay. So I'm going to have a class bike which is going to make use of the attributes which is present in my vehicle class. So extends vehicle. Okay, and I'm going to have another class car extends vehicle. Okay, now I'll be creating a parameterized constructor. Okay, I'm not giving any initialization here. Directly I'm going to use the variables of model string model int model int year int price. this dot model is equal to model year or manufactured year is equal to year. This dot price is equal to price. And in my display method, I'm just going to print all those things. Model plus manufactured year plus price. And I'll be having the same things here also in my car. Here, car is going to be my constructor. Okay. So I have this vehicle class is called a super class or parent class. Okay. I'm initializing or I'm declaring the variables model, manufactured year, and price. And I'm going to have two base classes or two child classes, bike and car, which is going to inherit the vehicle class. Okay. And here no error is being prompted because here I'm not even initializing the model, manufactured year attributes and all, but it is getting mapped to the variable which I have declared here. So this is how we'll be using inheritance. Now let's have a main method, and in the public let's have a main class, and in the main method let's create object for bike as well as car. Okay, let's pass some parameters into the bike object and the car object, and then let's see what happens when we use the display method. Guys, are you clear with this? Ma'am, while using this keyword, when we are passing the values from below, please tell how this stores the values in the variable. Yeah, bike p object 1 is equal to new bike of I'll keep model as a. B object 1 dot display. Oh, it's string, right? It's not character. Okay. Okay. So your question was, whenever we're using this keyword, how it is getting mapped, right? See, here in this case, okay, I'm going to assign here in my constructor what I'm passing a. So here I'm calling the constructor bike constructor parameterized constructor. So the control goes here. So as the positional argument, when the positioning is being done, a will be assigned to model. Okay, and year will be assigned to 2005, and the price will be 80,000, right? So here in this case, manufactured year is the instance variable, and I'm just like that. I'm storing the year which comes here to the manufactured year variable. So 2005 is getting stored directly. But for this model and price, both the instance variables and the variable which is coming from my object is same, right? So in order to differentiate that only, I'm making use of this dot model. So when the control comes here, when this dot model um, this dot model is being encountered by that, now what it understands that. So for the instance variables model only, I want to assign the string which is coming from my object. So the string which comes here, a will be assigned to the instance variable model. Okay, so this is how it works. Okay, polymorphism in the sense a single method, like it takes two different roles. That is known as polymorphism, and we do have two types of polymorphism: runtime as well as compile time. And when it comes to encapsulation, it's not encapsulation. Encapsulation sense, we are going to bind the data as well as the code, the relevant code, into a single unit, and then we are going to perform the things. Okay. Then car C object 1 is equal to new car of let's say the 2000, and C object 1 dot display. Main is already declared. Okay. Pipe details. Car details. Oh, pipe details. So yes. So here we have made use of the instance variables which has been declared in the super class or in the parent class. We have used that in both of our child class, and we have just created a parameterized constructor, and we are going to pass the values in that constructor, and then we have created a method for the same. Guys, so is the inheritance concept clear? Because we do have different types of inheritance in Java. Okay, so single level inheritance. Single level inheritance means, like, if you are not including this, it's single level inheritance. From one class only for a single time, another class will be getting inherited. Okay, and we do have something called hierarchical and multi-level inheritance. There are many kind of inheritance, but the basic concept of what an inheritance means, this only. We are just going to make use of the methods, the attributes of one class into another, because it's something like we are going to waste the memory, and we are going to we are going to increase the number of lines if you're going to use the same method every time, right? If you're going to create the same logic for every time, it's something time consuming and it's increasing the complexity. So this is the inheritance concept, and we'll be using extends keyword as a special keyword that is reserved in order to inherit the properties from one class to another class. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Sakshi. Yeah, we are going to bind data as well as code together. Yes, Java does not support inheritance. Okay. Because here we will be having the concept of interface. So that's why multiple inheritance is not supported in Java. You can also inheritance an interface with a class. So in the interface, what do you mean by interface means? I'll be showing you how an interface looks. I'm not sure whether I have used an interface. This is an interface, okay? So here in the interface, it looks something like this. Public interface, the interface name train. Okay, here I'll be having the static methods. So this is, it's not static method. I am just going to have the details of the variables which I'll be using in my particular code, or the methods which I'm going to use. It is something interface is kind of whenever you're going to create a report or create any project report, means you'll be having something called of index, right? In the index you'll be having the contents or the title which you have worked on your project. So it is something like this. So here interface, you will not be defining, you will not be defining or initializing anything. You'll be just having the name of the methods which have been used in your project and the name of the instance variables which you have been used in your project, but you'll not be giving the method definition, okay, or you'll not be defining what the method must do, the method block in the interface. So this is an interface, and you can create an interface by giving new interface. Okay, it is also a .java file only, but this is the thing over here. So we cannot achieve multiple inheritances Java, because it actually contributes to some code maintenance and code ambiguity. Okay, the diamond error is nothing like, for example, we are going to have a class like student or vehicle. Okay, vehicle. From this you are going to extend bike, bike and car. Okay, a vehicle will be the super class, and if you want to inherit the properties of vehicle class to bike class and car class. Okay, again you are having something called as like class sample. In this class sample you will be inheriting the properties and attributes of bike and car into this sample. Okay, that time what happens, if your class vehicle, it has a particular method, let's take the method name is run, or let's take a method name display. Okay, uh, it will not be getting inherited to the sample class. So this kind of a problem, this kind of error is something known as the diamond class, and that's why multiple inheritance is not supported in Java, because in order to maintain the code maintainability and all those things, and for achieving the same features, or for achieving the same functionality only, it has provided us the concept of interface. Okay, so we can make use of interface in order to support the functionality of how multiple inheritance works in Java. And one more thing, a catch here: whenever you're going to inherit the properties from one class to another class, we'll be using extends keyword. Okay, but when you want to inherit the properties and the attributes and the methods which is present from an interface to a class, we'll be making use of implements keyword. Okay, guys, are you clear with the concept? Like, now can we move on to polymorphism? Tree diagram of hybrid inheritance. This only you are asking, right? Um. Okay. This is what with I haven't used in hybrid inheritance. Inheritance in Java. Okay, so hybrid inheritance in the sense, uh, we know the word. What is the meaning of hybrid, right? So we are just going to combine the two types of inheritance, and we'll be calling it as hybrid inheritance. So what it is being explained here is, okay. So we are going to have a class A and B. We are going. Okay. So we are going to have a class A, which is base class, or which is the parent class. Okay. Uh, from A, they are saying that A is the parent class for both. Once again, so that the class A and B extends the class C. Also, another class B extends the class A. Four classes A assume that the class A and B extend the class C. Okay. Here the class A is parent class for child C and is also a child class. Okay. So what it has been said here is, I mean, don't mind about that diagram. Okay. So hybrid inheritance in the sense, this is first. This is going to be my parent class. Okay. Parent class, and A and B is going to extend the properties or inherit the properties in the methods which is present in the C class. Now, okay, in this condition, in the first case, now A and B is going to be my child classes. Okay, A and B is going to be my child class, and C is going to be my parent class. Okay. Another thing, now another scenario where I have a class D which is going to inherit the properties which is present in my A class. This time what happens? A becomes the parent class and D becomes the child class, right? Now this is my hybrid inheritance, which means A will act as a child class when we are taking the reference of C. But when we are taking the reference of D, A acts as a parent class. Okay, so this is something known as hybrid inheritance because we are combining two types of inheritance here. I think single and multiple inheritance they are converting it, and so that's why it is known as a hybrid inheritance. Is that fine, Sahil? Okay. Next, we'll be seeing the example of polymorphism. Okay. In polymorphism, we do have two things: method overloading. Method overriding. Okay. Method overloading is also called as compile time polymorphism. Once again. Okay. And method overriding is also known as runtime polymorphism. In method overloading, what is method overloading? So I'm going to have the same method name. Okay. Um, Same method name, or yeah, same method name, but there will be a difference in the number of parameters, or difference in the data type of parameters. If this is the case, then I'll be calling it as method overloading. Okay. So for example, I'm going to have a same method assign. Same method, I'm going to have int id, string name, and string name. Okay. And I'm going to, this method I'll be giving it as void. And I'm going to have the same method name, but the number of parameters is different. String id, int id, string name, int marks. Then here my method is same, but according to the user's input, it is going to take different roles. So in my main program, if my user gives the input as one and the name, then this assign method will be working. Okay. But if my user is giving one, name, and marks, then this method works. Same method name only, but I mean, depending upon the user, the number of parameters, it is going to take its own role. Okay. This comes under method overloading. And one more thing, if you are going to have void assign and int id, I'm going to have another method string name, float marks. In this case, same number of parameters, three parameters only we're having here as well as here, but the data type is different. Here we are having int marks, here we are having float marks. So what does it mean? So if my user is giving something as 1, 3, and 24.5, means this assign method will act. This assign method will come into action. So this is known as method overloading. Okay, so the same method name, but if there is a difference in the number of parameters or if in the data type of parameters, then it is known as method overloading. Okay, guys, please understand the concept of method overloading and method overriding, because people will ask you it in interview. They'll be asking you to code. Okay. And method overloading is compile time polymorphism, because while the compiler detects the number of parameters itself, the the change or the functionality change will be happening in the method. That's why it is known as compile time. But when it comes to runtime, it's quite different. People, just let me know, have you people understood? Yeah, in method loading we have to take same method name and same classes. Yes. What is the declaration time initialization? Uh, what is the limitation of declaration time initialization? I mean, uh, could you be more specific on your question, Vikash? Guys, do you people understood method overloading? And please explain the points where we have to take into consideration while taking the parameters in the method having. Okay, okay. Don't worry. Okay. Only Madhav understood. What about others? Okay. So, guys, others understood the concept of method overloading. Now I'll be telling you the the coding stuff. Okay. Now I'll be creating another class. Calci. Okay. Now here, I'm not going to have any constructors, but I'll just make use of static methods. Okay. And I'll be making use of static methods. So static, why we are giving static means if like if I want to access the method name, methods or the attributes without creating any object means we'll be making use of static. Okay, so here this is an example for you in order to uh, see how static method works. So I'm just going to give static in my method name is addition. Okay, I'm going to pass two values int num1 and num2. Okay, this is an example for method overloading. And here I'm going to return num1 plus num2. Okay, and same, I'm going to have the same class in addition, I mean same method name int num1, int num2 and int num3. Here return num1 plus num2 plus num3. Okay, so I'm going to give class main, and as I have used like the static method, it's not necessary to create an object. Without creating an object itself, I'll be able to access the methods which is present in another class. So in my main method, static wall main. Okay, I'll be just printing it system or int result 1 is equal to calc dot addition 23 plus 4. Result 1. So when I'm giving int result 2, calc dot, calc is the class name and addition is the method. Result 2. Method overload. Once again. So guys, yeah, so this is the method overloading. Okay, so here I have created the my method name is same. Okay, addition is my method name and there is a difference in the number of parameters. Okay, and just with the help of static methods, I have just created I'm just going to call the function without creating an object, and depending on the number of parameters which the user inputs, the addition method is taking different roles. Okay, so this is method overloading. People, did you understand this? I want to okay, so here method overloading, it's very simple guys. Okay, so same method, a method overloading and method overriding, in both these things you are going to have the same method name, but it is going to take different functionalities depending on the condition or depending on some situation. Okay, here the same function name, the same function is only going to act depending on the condition. Okay, so here I have defined the condition here, giving two parameters and to return the addition of these two numbers. Okay, Whereas here I have given 3 parameters and I'm going to return the result of these 3 parameters. Okay. So in my main method, I have just called the method addition, and here I'm going to pass only 2 parameters. Automatically this function will be getting executed. So when I'm passing 3 parameters, automatically this function is going to be executed, this method. So the role of the method, the role of which method to execute it changes depending upon the number of parameters which the user inputs, right? So this is known as method overloading. Okay, so now did you people understand this? Static keyword. Okay, so here I have used static keyword. Whenever we are going to use the static methods, it's just to say like directly I can use the method here. Otherwise, usually if I'm not going to create a static method, means I want to create an object for the particular class in order to access those properties and the methods which is present over there. Okay, but whenever I'm making use of the static keyword, something to say that without creating an object, you can use the methods of that particular class anywhere inside the same package. Okay, and when it comes to static variable, only when your class is being created, only at the very first run, the initialization will be done to your static variable. So here, in order to access the properties and the methods without creating an object, I have made use of static variable, static method, so that you people will be having an understanding of the static method, right? So if you're clear with this, I'll be. Let's move on to. Ma'am, you have got cold, and even though, okay, even though you're teaching, hats off. So you, I mean, like you spotted that I'm having cold. So guys, if you're clear with this, then let's see about method overloading. Okay, what about others? Have you people understood? Method overriding is very simple. Okay. Guys, first, do you, only Madhav has understood. Okay, Sahil, what about others? Sakshi. Okay. Okay, great. I'm happy that you people are, like very active. Okay, so method overriding means it's very simple. We are just go- we are just going to override the definition of a particular method. For example, let's suppose say I'm going to have a method void run. Okay. Uh, in one class, in class A, let's say my run method is going to have a definition stating that print. I mean, uh, parent class. Like, okay, I'm going to have a class A. Okay, and that is going to be my parent class, and in that class I'm going to have a method run. Okay, and that run method will be going to print that it is a parent class, and I'm going to inherit class B, which have I'm going to make use of the methods which is present in class A. Okay, so here class B becomes the derived class of class A, and here I'm going to redefine the definition of the same method run, and here I'm going to print it as child class. So this is more about method overriding. Okay, in the sense I'm going to have the same method. Okay, I have defined the definition of a method in some class A. Okay, in my inherited class I'm going to change the definition of the same method. So that is what is actually method overriding. So here let's suppose okay, I'll be creating another class. Okay, in my class, I'll be having a method void run system.out.println. It's a parent class. Okay, and I'm going to have a college means department, which inherits which inherits the properties of the college class. And here I'm going to redefine the functionality of run method. This is known as method overriding. I'm going to override what a method must do in my inherited class. Println, it's a child class. And guys, like here I'm not going to use static method. I'll be creating an object main class main public static void main. Okay, I'm going to create an object for my college. Plus college. No, I'll be creating an object for my derived class. Department object is equal to new department. Here comes my default constructor. Okay, so here I'm going to call my default constructor, and here I haven't defined any default constructor, or I haven't used any constructor here. Whenever this department class is created, automatically the default constructor is created over here. Object dot, I'm going to call the method run. Method overloading. Okay, so the same method, okay, in my parent class, it says it's a parent class, but the definition of or the functionality of this method is being redefined. It's being modified or overridden in my derived class. So when I try to access the run method, okay, the modified or the overridden definition is being called over here, and this is method overriding. Sorry. It's method overriding, and this is called as method overriding. Okay, so I'm going to override the functionality of a method. Okay, so the same method, it carries two different functionalities. I have defined a method and the functionality. Here it's a very simple functionality. I'm just going to print something. Here I have told you only, I have given an example, but whenever you are working in a very real-time project, there the functionality could be different, right? It could be more complex. So here I have overridden the methods functionality, and when I try to access the run method from my derived class, only the overridden content is being printed here, and this is known as method overriding. People are clear with method overloading and overloading and overriding? Something like tongue twister. Ma'am, I have sent the LinkedIn request to have accepted. Okay, and guys, you have asked about my mail ID. No? I'll be sharing my mail ID with you. You text me, then I'll be connecting you with LinkedIn, okay? Once. So this is my mail ID. Like, you can send me your name with your LinkedIn. kirtanajodiramesh@gmail.com. Okay. Sure, Starix. I'll accept your LinkedIn request. Don't worry. So, ma'am, in overriding, the content in the method gets updated, right? Yes, Sahil. That's correct. And yeah, so as we don't have time today, like we have no time to see about collection framework. Just I'll be showing you an example of how the collections in Java. Once again, collections in Java. I'll be telling you the things which is available over here. These are all the things which is available. Okay. So in Java, we have something like array list, linked list, okay, and stack. I'll be telling you the things which you'll be using the most when it comes to coding things. You'll be using array list, linked list, stack, and priority queue. Okay. Hash set you'll be using hash map, tree set. Okay, I haven't used array DQ and linked hash set yet. These are all the things which you'll be using, and with the help of collection frameworks, you'll be able to integrate or implement, make use of non-linear data structures in your code very easily. Collection framework is quite very simple. Like you'll be able to understand it on your own. Okay, if you want to study more about the collections framework, you can go to the Java Tech Point website and you can learn. As we are running out of time, I couldn't cover that. And for system designing or for low level designing, uh, uh, you can design tools. Uh, you can make use of this website. Okay, refactoring guru system design. Hmm. System design patterns. You can make use of this website because it is quite like it's funny. As it's not funny, like it's something, it's very interesting. It looks like funny, and at the same time you can understand each and every concept very clearly because it has included pictorial representation, right? So yes guys, any notes ma'am? I'm a beginner. Okay, don't worry, like I mean, it's your beginner also. That's fine. You do have many internet resources. Like you can make use of Java T Point or Geeks for Geeks, and I have used Java T Point only. And if you have any doubts, you can mail me also. Okay, this is my mail ID. My mail ID. Okay, and yeah, and people who are preparing for interviews kind of stuffs. Okay, so and if you're a beginner in Java, you can try learning all the concepts in Java and you can apply it. Sure, I'll check Starex, and you can apply it in order to solve the coding problems. Okay, and people who are working for interview, okay, just 4 tips from my side. Okay, be consistent and be focused, and just have I mean, solve aptitude kind of stuffs, and solving some coding snippets means finding the output of some coding snippets which is being given to you. Okay, so learn all those things. Okay, that will be your first round, and your second round it could be your coding round. So where you'll be given 3 or 4 competitive programming questions, and you'll be asked to solve. And you also concentrate on solving the SQL things. In order to solve your SQL things, you can go and refer lead code SQL 50. You can solve it from here, and also you can use HackerRank for the same for solving SQL based questions. Okay, because that there also you can learn more whenever you are going to see about the discussions part. Okay, okay. Study SQL. I mean, be strong in joins, left join, right join, natural join. Okay, and all those joins. Then it comes for the LLD round. Okay, some companies will be asking LLD round, lower level design programming round. For that, it is something like you want to just create some kind of console based applications, and in order to do all those things, you have to have a knowledge on design patterns. So refer this, and you prepare. And next round, it's I mean, yeah, and sometimes some companies might ask you to develop application, a web based application also. That time you can go with Mern stack or something, or Python, Django, whatever you are convenient. So in that side also you have a bit knowledge. on how to develop a functionality or something like that. And yeah, then it comes for the technical interview. Be prepared in the language or in the concepts in the technologies which you are very strong. Based on your resume only, they are going to question you on the technologies. And when it comes to DSA part, it's not like you have to have a very good understanding until grasp, but you have to have some good understanding on the basics and cover until like the trees kind of things. So this is from my side, and for people who are like preparing for interviews and who are trying to learn, all the very best from your side, from my side, sorry, all the very best. Like prepare well and do well, and that's it from my side. Okay. So if you people have any doubts, you can put it in the chat, or you can also mail me. This is my mail ID. Yeah. Um, with with this, I'm going to wrap up the Java development workshop. So guys, if you can provide any feedbacks also, uh, that will help me in order to like take upcoming classes. If you have any feedbacks, you can share it in the chat, or if you have, you can share it. If you have any doubts, you can also put it in the chat. No, like this is the final session. We don't have any class, Sahil. So a great bye bye from my side. Okay, cool. If you have any doubts, you can text me. No issues. I'll be solving your doubts. So guys, can wind up the session. I hope that you had a great learning in all these 4 days. Okay, so from I mean, I have given my best, so I think I have made you to like explore more concepts on Java as well as some part of DSA. Like you, I mean, like you send your LinkedIn now to my mail ID. Let's connect in LinkedIn. Okay. So guys, yeah, all the very best, okay, for your preparation, and we'll wrap up the Java development workshop. And thank you so much for your cooperation, okay, and your patience. And I had a great time in teaching you. So I'm not sure about it, Mary. Like you can ask the OctaNet team. Thank you, Sahil. Same from my side. So I'll wind up. Thank you, guys. Thank you for your patience and cooperation. Thank you all.